Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. And before I go get in the car line to go pick up my kids, I wanted to share this video with those of you who are contemplating carrying a firearm as an EDC option or are just new into firearms. I wanted to share with you something that has helped me choose that right EDC firearm. So very quickly today, nothing long, very straight and to the point. First and foremost, make sure you start with the mindset of legal basics. Like, first of all, what is your mindset for carrying a firearm? What is your reasoning? Obviously, most people's reasoning is to protect themselves for self-defense, but like, is that really what you want to do, or is it more tailored towards, what you're seeing around you? So make sure that is something you really want to do. And then if you decide that you do want to carry a firearm as an EDC option rather than less lethal options, which I will have a video coming on that very soon. For those of you who don't want to carry a firearm, maybe you want to carry something else that is less lethal, but you can still defend yourself, make sure y'all stay tuned for that video. And then if you want to carry, make sure you know what the legal basics are for your state, for your region, for wherever you are. Make sure you know what that means. And so you need to know about personal defense. Again, are you carrying concealed for personal defense, or are you carrying for a backup situation? You need to know the laws about concealed carry and open carry and how to transport your firearms from this state to the next state. Just make sure you know the logistics behind all of that, because it can get very sticky if you don't know. Number two would be the size and the carryability of the firearm. So one thing for me, I know, like out the gate, if I'm going to carry a firearm, that thing has to fit me 100%. And if it doesn't, I can't carry it. And so for most of you who know or who've been on the channel, you know that I carry a Glock 43X as my EDC. And again, there's several options out here for us to, or at least for me, to kind of go with. But the 43X was the one that I could shoot well. It felt good in my hand. The size was great. And then I kind of not really came up, but I discovered other carryability options as far as my rounds go. So the 43X has 10 rounds. It comes with 2 stock 10 round mags, which for me, I needed a little bit more. So I did go with the PSA dagger mags. And so complete package for me, Glock 43X with the PSA dagger 15 round mags, holster that's compatible, works for me. You want to know what gun works for you. The size has to fit. If the size doesn't fit, what's the point of carrying? Especially if you're going to carry conceal. If you want to carry conceal, you want to make sure that gun is not printing. You want to make sure that you're able to conceal it so no one knows that you're carrying, and then you can defend yourself with something that is sizable for you. The bigger guns will have less felt recoil, whereas the smaller guns will have bit of a snap or recoil that you might have to manage a little bit more than bigger guns. So those are things you want to consider when trying to choose that firearm. You want to kind of know what you wear on a daily basis, especially if you go to work, or if you work from home, or construction worker, whatever that may mean for you. You want to know what type of clothes are you wearing on a daily basis, so that you can configure those clothing items or whatever to that firearm EDC, or vice versa. Configure that firearm EDC to the type of attire you wear. So all those things matter. Whether you're going to carry in appendix style in the front, or you're going to carry it at 3 o'clock, or you're going to carry it at 6 o'clock. All those things matter. So whenever you're choosing, the size and the carryability of the firearm is very important. Number 3 is going to be the caliber and the stopping power versus the controllability. So right now, the 9mm cartridge is the most popular. If you can ask your next door neighbor or your friend, if they do carry a firearm EDC, they're probably going to say it's a 9mm. There are people that carry 40s and 45s, things of that nature, but 9mm is kind of the sweet spot. And so you want to know, are you able to control a 9mm? If not, you might have to use something like a 380 until you work yourself up to a 9mm or a 45. Those things do matter, because there's no sense of carrying a gun and you can't control the recoil on it. It kind of goes back to number 2, the carryability of it. Are you able to shoot it? Are you able to carry it? In the event you need to pull out for self-defense, can you pull it out and actually shoot and aim and it not go flying behind your head? Those are things to really consider before you try to decide on what that is going to be for you. The higher calibers, like the 40 and the 45, they have more energy and less recoil, but sometimes you won't get the capacity that you want. Whereas with the 9mm, depending on which firearm you're carrying, you can go from anywhere from 10 rounds all the way up to maybe 20, depending on, you know, the firearm that you're carrying. And obviously this is specific to certain states. I understand some states can only carry 10 rounds. Some states can't carry certain firearms. So it goes back to number one, make sure you're doing your research, the legal basics of what it takes to carry a firearm if you decide you want to EDC a firearm. Number 4, the shootability and the ergonomics. This is a huge one for me because if you cannot shoot the gun, don't carry the gun. Just because your friends are carrying a Glock 43X or a Glock 19 or a Smith & Wesson or Springfield, it doesn't even matter. If you can't shoot the gun, ain't no need of you carrying it. And the ergonomics kind of play a part into the shootability. So if you can't reach the trigger, don't shoot the gun, don't carry the gun. If you can't get your hands or a good grip around the gun, don't carry the gun. That gun is not for you. But I promise you, there is going to be a gun out there for you. But all these things need to be taken into place where you need to actually go to a gun store or go to a range and actually try these things out. Put your hands on that gun that you think is going to be the best option for you. And then if it winds up not working, then you just move on to something else. I am a witness. I'd rather go to ranges and local gun stores and test out guns before I put my money on something that people say are reliable or feels good or is the best thing. Nope, you got to really go put your hands on it for yourself and not rely on people like me, your influencers, your neighbors, whatever, to say, this is what it is, I like it, you're gonna like it. It doesn't always happen that way. I'm a big stickler for that because you can't just tell me you like something and it's gonna work for you, Summer. I have to actually go try it myself. So I hope you guys do the same. That's why I'm offering this advice now. I never really like to tell people that, oh, you should go buy this gun, because no, don't go buy it. Go shoot it. Go put your hands on it and all that good stuff before you spend the money on it. So making sure the ergonomics and the shootability of the gun is top tier for you, we might be in there with that firearm EDC. Number 5 is kind of like I mentioned earlier, what's the capacity and the magazine availability? So you want to make sure you don't go out there and get a gun where the magazines are like $80. I mean, you could go get that gun, but just make sure you're prepared to spend the money on what it takes to keep that gun up. It's almost like a car. You go and buy you a Mercedes, just be ready for that Mercedes oil change and the tires that you have to buy for that Mercedes. Same thing with the gun. You want to make sure you know, are you willing to spend, you know, X amount of dollars on the magazines and the ammo? We talked about the 40 and the 45s earlier. Those are a little bit more expensive than your 9mm. Are you willing to spend that extra money on that firearm or not? So you want to make sure you take that into consideration. So no need to go get a staccato where the magazines are expensive. Sometimes you want to put a little bit more ammo into the staccatos, higher caliber ammo, I should say, into staccatos. But if you don't want to spend that extra money, you might want to just stick with the basic Glock. Which leads to number 6, the reliability and the maintenance of the firearm. So like I just said, if you're not willing to put the money into the firearm to keep it reliable, obviously we want our firearms to come right out of the box reliable. But if there happens to be some parts you have to exchange or some parts you have to trade out, anything like that, you want to make sure that you are aware of the maintenance of the firearm. Obviously, cleaning the firearm is going to be huge, because if you're not cleaning your firearm, you're just setting yourself up for failure. In the event you have to defend yourself and then that firearm doesn't work because there's too much carbon buildup or whatever the case may be for your firearm, you want to make sure that you're on top of the maintenance and you know that the gun is reliable. Make sure you do your research. Do your research. If everybody is saying that this particular gun will shoot when it drops, then just make sure you don't go buy that gun. I mean, if everybody's saying it, there's got to be some truth to it. And then the last one is knowing the safety features and the trigger of that firearm. So if you're shooting a hammer fire, you're probably going to have to get used to the safeties on it. If you're shooting a striker fire, you want to know what that internal trigger safety is. Just being aware of that trigger is going to be very important, because ultimately that's what makes the gun go bang. So if you can't reach the trigger, or the trigger is too finicky for you, or you don't know how to work the trigger at all, it might not be your best option to go after that firearm right away. You might want to take it to the range and practice with it before you start carrying it. But those types of things are what leads to the best firearm EDC for a person. Now, I gave you a whole list of things to look for when you're trying to choose that EDC firearm. But ultimately, if you're not practicing with that thing, there's no need to have it. There's no need to just say, I got a gun because I got a gun. If you're not practicing and training with something that will potentially add as a benefit to your life to defend yourself and defend your family, there's no need. You'd just be better off carrying a knife probably. So I would recommend, and I would encourage all of you watching to make sure you are training with that EDC that you ultimately choose as the one for you. Make sure you're training. Make sure you know how to take the gun apart, put it back together. Make sure you know how to clean it. Make sure you know all the parts that go with it. And if this happens, then I need to go change this. And if you don't know, that's what Google and YouTube and your local gunsmiths and some of your gun buddies are for, so that you can learn these things. So y'all, very quick and easy. I got to go get in the car line, but I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And if you have just chosen your very first EDC firearm, make sure you drop it down in the comment section below so I can know what it is that you've chosen and why is it the EDC firearm for you. What made it be that particular gun for you? Make sure y'all follow me on my socials. I do a lot of things on my socials that you don't see on YouTube. So if you want to stay up to speed with me almost on a daily basis, just make sure y'all follow the socials below. Until next time, stay on, stay safe, and stay vigilant. Peace.